Jimi Clarke, great to have you on this High Value Man Project client experience call. Let me tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right. So I am 52, two teen daughters, a couple of businesses, divorced, and trying to, well, actually not trying to anymore, really. Feels like life is put together again
Nice, nice.
after some hard work.
Yeah, exactly. Where were you at when you started your High Value Man journey?
Yeah. So I think I had high stress levels years ago. I can't remember how many years it's been now, but it's been a few years. 4 years, maybe, something like I'm not sure. And then I had really high stress levels. I needed a tool to be able to reset myself and get control of my situation. So the house, the water tool was kind of the starting point for everything. And that was kind of helping me immediately. And then from there were other issues that needed to be addressed. And that's kind of how we started to work to fix those issues.
And what have you learned about yourself and what shifted over our time working together?
That question is the reason why I wanted to give this testimonial or have this meeting. And the reason is to try to explain this from a non-marketing point of view. So we do work and we have kids and we run businesses or whatever we do to occupy ourselves or escaping in many cases from issues and problems, and stresses. And in between those situations, work, kids, and all these things we occupy ourselves with, in between that, we also have to live our lives. We have to go to bed on our own, have to sleep, fall asleep on our own with our own thoughts, our own stresses, our own silent moments where we try to hold it together. Yeah. And those moments, that bit of your own personal life, not the businesses, not the kids, not the divorce, not those, just you on your own, that is the thing that needs to be fixed. Divorce is like a tick box, and getting the kids to come around for dinner is a tick box. But how you operate with yourself in between all of this and managing all of this and dealing with new shit that comes your way, that is the whole purpose, really. And it's very difficult to get that across in a real and realistic explanation, because a lot of times things you're spilling over to marketing and AI content and auto-generated information, and you need to be able to bring the trust in. And that's why I wanted to do this session, because I'm trying to instill some trust that is not have any other motives or motivations behind it, because I think this is really important. What we have done over the years and the steps I've been through and things that you have predicted, what's going to happen and what's probably happening, and insights that you have told me this, that I'm going like, oh yeah, actually that is true. You can't do that on your own. And that was the position I was in the beginning. You can't do it on your own. You can do it on your own. It might be a lot more difficult, or you might not get through it, or you might not come out on the other end in a healthy position. So that was the position I was in, and that is what I wanted to avoid. I wanted to come through on this other side with some real benefit, which it is now. This 2026 has been the best year of my life so far.
Brilliant. And in terms of some of that, what it's done for you on a personal level, can you share, about how you show up and how you show up for yourself? What are your passions and interests? How it's all coming out for you?
Yes, this always been like priorities. So kids, obviously, and health and business. I wasn't really much into socializing and things before, so it was mainly like business and kids and maybe a little bit exercise. But and when you're in that space, and I've been in that space pretty much my whole life, where I'm getting super focused on something, and I'm pretty much always achieving my goals. I'm setting out to do something, and I'm pretty much always getting there. And that's good. It's good to achieve things, but it's also costing things along the way. And then what I thought a few years ago was that if I give up my time on certain things, I'm not going to get to where I need to get to. But somehow it turns out that expanding your scope, spending time on other things, actually gives you more time for some strange reason. So I get more shit done now in the same amount of time than I did before, even though I have the same amount of time to start with, but I still have more things happening. And I couldn't wrap my head around that. And I still don't really understand how that happens, but that is the life right now. So now I'm doing loads of different things, like writing music and working on a release of a single, and kids are spending more time with me now than they did before. I have a better social life, loads of food related things, cooking and barbecues and socializing in those settings, and maybe not more exercise, but regular exercise, more consistent exercise, and the business, 2.5 businesses that are all working and building those teams and learning new things and all. So overall, there's a much better balance on things, and that also gives me a chance to now to sit back and observing all these different things. Yeah, there's more. I'm not sure. Everything is more calm. Everything is more calm. Lots of things happening, and lots of new opportunities are coming my way all the time that I can
Yeah.
choose how to engage with.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced you becoming more calmer and certainly get the results that you wanted in all those different areas flowing towards you. What difference has it made to the people around you? What, have any of them commented, or do you think in terms of some of those key relationships, what have you noticed?
No, there's no real comments. Maybe I'm a little bit more decisive on things. I have better boundaries on things, so that it's not a negative thing, but it's the thing where you telling people or situations that this is the line we don't cross. Yeah. So it's easier to do those kind of things now, but it's easier to do those things in a non-aggressive, non-confrontational way. It's easier to just explain, like, this is the situation and this is where we don't want to go because X, Y, Z. It's easier to manage those things. So that's helped a lot with not taking on too many other things and taking other people's problems and taking on new opportunities that some seem very exciting, but be able to say no to those things too, because we don't want to cross that line in any aspect, not only what can be seen as negative, but also things that could be seen as positive. So managing those boundaries and managing the life and the balance in life is easier now because you know where your priorities are.
Yeah, totally get that. And what does this mean? This high value man perspective on life. What does this mean for you now and the future ahead?
A high value man seems like it's something. This is going to sound weird, but it seems like when you're looking from the outside, when we're looking from my position years ago or time ago, it seems like it's this thing to reach up to, that is, oh, I have to work really hard to get to somewhere where I can't really identify what that means. But actually, it's not something that you are reaching up for. It's something that is coming together. It's not something it's not a position you're trying to get to. It's not a medal. It's in essence, it's, oh yeah, everything is nice now. Everything is good. That's what it is. You didn't travel somewhere. It's just that it's just coming together, and then like you're sitting back and like, fucking hell, it's everything is pretty good. And it's not some sort of testosterone masculine, thing. It's just life is good. That's what it is. And you can deal with stuff, and shit is always going to happen, but it doesn't have to be a catastrophe. It's just another thing to do something with and send off, and then you deal with your other things that you have in place. So it's well balanced and adult. You just feel
big
like you're a bit of
big
an adult.
boy, proper man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would you say to anyone thinking about getting involved with the High Value Man project?
Yeah, so this is where it's super difficult. You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. If there's some shit happening, let's say divorce, there's some shit happening, and there are certain things that you have to go through. And in my case, I mean, without your support, I would not have been. I wouldn't be in this situation right now, because it was challenging, to say the least. Yeah, the and then just first of all just having the fucking thing to lean on a little bit, and rationalizing things and not overreacting on things, and structurally dealing with things where you have zero energy, zero motivation, no energy, no, you just want to quit everything. Just fuck it. Let them do whatever they want. I'll take the consequences. So it was like that for quite a long time. Yeah. So having the support mechanism in place to not feeling like you're expending more energy, but you're still getting shit done. That's huge, huge value. But that is one of those tick boxing exercises. And in the position where you're saying, do I want to spend money on doing that? It becomes a money question. And do I want to have money? Do I want to spend money to tick off that box? Yes or no? And it's easier to say no to that because the man thing is I'm just going to soldier through it. I'm just going to do it on my own and I'm going to soldier through it. And fair enough, you can do that. And I was thinking that too. But it might have been easier for me to make the decision because I have built a team on my own. So I have support mechanisms in my own business. So I know the value of having team. You can't do it on your own. There's no such thing as self-made. You have people to support you, kids, wife, colleagues, friends, what there's going to be people supporting you. And your support mechanism to tick those boxes off is something that we can say within the box, this is what the situation was, this is what we did, the outcome was this. And that is great, but that is not the biggest value. That is one of the things that could get someone to say, yeah, I want that support, and then you do the thing and you pay the money, and it's a transactional thing. But what we are doing is not a transactional thing. What we have doing, the real value for me, is it's growing the foundation. And the divorce was just one thing to get out of the way to get back onto building the thing that is actually important. So the divorce was important, but that's gone now. So I still need to have a good life. And that is coming down to having that foundation, knowing how to deal with things and having consistent meetings. Every week we're talking and everything is in my head. And then I can just say things out loud like we did in the session today. I can just say things out loud and then I can hear it. And then I get some feedback. And then that's it. That is my whole week saved. And then there's going to be some other shit happening next Tuesday, let's say. And then we have another chat. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's how we can address that. And it just builds you 1 week at a time until you come across same problems again. And then you deal with it differently suddenly. And then you realize, oh, I'm doing this differently now. That is where the value is. But you can't say that up front because no one is going to get it. You have to put the hours in to get to that position. And that is why I wanted to do this session, because I think it's important. It's valuable for people who have been in my situation before. And I don't want people to be in the situation I was in before. It's terrible. And it's with your support that I'm not in that situation anymore. So it's a no-brainer, really. But it's difficult to say that up front when it's chaos.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's been such a pleasure working with you, Jimmy, and seeing you evolve and thrive and the new chapters that are ahead for us. So thanks so much for doing this call. I really appreciate you for everything.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Stop the rot and start winning at home. Find out your high value man score today. Comment score or click link in bio.